coming up on SportsNight.
Football takes on a ranked conference opponent on the road.
Field hockey takes on a pair of feline foes at home.
And men's soccer looks for a win against the Spartans.
Well, Leo, I finally had to switch on the heat in my house. It's looking like summer really is over.
Wait, what do you mean summer's over, Charles? It's pretty hot in here. I mean, I'm sweating.
You're hot? I mean, I know we have Ben Wojcicki in the studio most weeks, so we're all feeling the heat, but you might want to get that checked out.
Leo. No, Charles, that's not what I meant. I meant we're turning the heat up here on SportsNight
right now.
Welcome into SportsNight. I'm Leo Tesler, joined by Charles White, and we have a fantastic show to bring you tonight.
It's going to be a long one, though, so folks at home, everybody, buckle up.
Well, I know we have a lot to cover, but it's not crazy long. Definitely not as long as this Blue Jays offseason once they, lose the ALCS.
Okay, whoa. Slow down. Let's focus on Northwestern sports for now. Up first, football. Following a homecoming blowout against Louisiana Monroe, Wildcat football was over 500 for the first time this season. On Saturday, the Cats headed over to the Keystone State to put their record on the line against the Nittany Lions. It was a beautiful day for some Big Ten football as the Northwestern Wildcats headed into Happy Valley to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions, looking for a major upset. Early on here, Northwestern with a 3-and-out, and Penn State blocks the punt, a scramble for the football, and it goes out of bounds. Huge momentum swing early. Penn State now threatening in the red zone. Drew Aller drops back and throws a dot right to Oriadei, his first career interception. The Cats would drive down and kick a field goal, up 3-0 after one. Second quarter action now, and Katron Allen gets a huge hole on the left side and takes advantage. Touchdown Penn State back on top. Northwestern not backing down though as Griffin Wilde shakes his defender on a corner route and scores. NU back on top 10-7. Back and forth we go, and the Nittany Lions run game would not be stopped. Nick Singleton this time for the score. Northwestern had another field goal before half, but Penn State held the lead 14-13. Cats punting again in the late third quarter, and returner Devontae Ross muffs it. Cats get on top of it. All of a sudden, they're back in the driver's seat. Now into the fourth, Jack Olson squared through the uprights on a 41-yarder to give Northwestern the lead. Penn State drives down again, though, and a QB sneak by Drew Aller punches this one in. PSU back up 21-16 with just 10 minutes to go. But NU punches right back as Caleb the Beast Komolafe bullies his way through the O-line, finds the end zone. Last gasp for Penn State and a QB scramble on fourth, but Najee Story comes up with the stop, denied, and that would be all as the Cats escape with a 1-point win, their first over Penn State in 10 full years. The Cats will face the Purdue Boilermakers in Evanston this Saturday at 2 p.m. This will be the last game that the football team ever plays at the Lakeside Stadium, as the new Ryan Field looks to be ready for next year. Taylor Hancock has the story.
Here I stand in the new Ryan Field, where today they placed the last piece of structural steel right in that far right corner. Everything is complete. 10 months ago, it was an empty hole, and now here the entire new Ryan Field stands, joined by the Ryan family, 500 other construction workers, and even Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss. They closed out the Ryan Field ceremony.
On Thursday morning, the Ryan Field construction project completed the structural phase, just 15 months after breaking ground. To mark the occasion and celebrate the 400-plus construction workers in attendance, the construction team held a topping out ceremony.
Obviously, we're focused on football, but this project goes beyond football. This is about 21 sports. This is about 500-plus student athletes that will get to utilize this. This is about a Big Ten community that will share in this.
The new Ryan Field is expected to open just in time for Northwestern football's 2026 season. Back to you, Charles.
Thanks, Taylor. Martin Stadium has been one of the most unique college football stadiums over the past couple of years, but I'm sure Northwestern is itching for the home opener next fall.
Coming off a big road conference win against number 10 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes, field hockey returned to Lakeside Field last week for a matchup against Penn State. The Cats took on Penn State last Friday looking to stay undefeated. Early first quarter, Piper Boers with the ball in the corner, dishes out a pass to Ashley Sessa, who dribbles through 2 defenders and fires the ball to the top right corner of the net for the score. Cats take an early 1-0 lead. 5 minutes later, it's going to be the Nittany Lions with the ball, and in the second half, but Maddie Zimmer strips it away. Zimmer sprints through the defense and passes to Sessa, who doesn't hesitate for a second, and logs her second goal of the quarter. Northwestern enters the half with a 2-goal advantage. After the break, we're going to see as Zimmer picks up a deflected pass in the Nittany Lions half. She slides through 4 defenders and launches a backhand strike past Nittany Lion goalie Abby DeVerka as the Cats add another goal to their lead. 3-0, and the Cats still are not finished here. Just under the 6-minute mark in regulation, Ilsa Trump fields a penalty corner and invites Grace Scholes to the scoring party as Northwestern stretches their lead to 4 on Scholes' 7th goal of the season. And with Juliana Boone logging her 8th clean sheet of the season, the Wildcats improve to 11-0 with a 4-0 victory.
It's clear that the Wildcats prey on the Nittany Lions, but are Tigers also beneath them in the food chain? This past Monday, Evanston was treated to a barn burner of a top 10 matchup against number 8 Princeton. Audie Lee Sykes draws first blood for Princeton off the Tigers' first penalty corner of the game. Her 3rd goal of the season is the first score that Juliana Bone has ever allowed on home turf. Coming back the other way is Piper Boers, and in tow, former Tiger Grace Scholes, seeking a response but gets denied by Olivia Capitini, and Boers says, "I'll just do it myself." She finds the board on the Cats' penalty corner to even the score heading into the half. Only the 4th time the Cats haven't led a game at the midway point this season. However, things get treacherous midway through the 3rd. Both teams play pinball before Molly Nye finds the ball. She hits the bottom right corner to snatch the lead back for the Tigers. Then early in the 4th, Beth Yeager gets a shot past Bone to double the lead. The nation's best find themselves in their deepest hole of the season thus far. Here's another look at that score. Absolutely devastating for the Cats. But hey, you know what they say. If you need a score, you go and you find number 4, Ashley Sessa, up over the keeper and into the net. Cats down only 1. And here's where things get fun. Penalty corner, 30 seconds left, blocked by Capitini. A couple seconds later, though, another penalty. Zavoinovic denied by Anna Falstich. And then one last try here. Sessa to Cole to Ilsa Trump off the boot of Capitini. Olivia bent Cole in a mad scramble to get off one last shot, but it won't matter. Time expires as 60 minutes of burnt orange brilliance gives Princeton their first victory over a number 1 ranked opponent in 12 years. Meanwhile, the Cats dropped their first matchup at home since August 27th of 2023. Following a loss which mars the Cats' unbeaten streak, Northwestern has a tough weekend ahead with road matches against number 15 Rutgers and number 10 Maryland on tap. But it's not all bad, as SportsNight's own Leyton Jackson is in the side studio with a deeper look into what went wrong for field hockey this week and what they need to do to improve before the postseason. Leyton, what have you got for us?
Well, Charles, Northwestern field hockey has started their season with an 11-game winning streak, only broken Monday in that 3-2 loss to number 8 Princeton. With their record now at 11-1, the Cats look to get another win under their belts against number 15 Rutgers tomorrow. Let's talk about that Princeton game. The Cats, who have been dominant all season, faltered for the first time Monday, with Princeton's power over the Wildcats lying in transition. Throughout the game, Northwestern's breakaway steals were often thwarted as 1 or 2 Northwestern attackers met a wall of Princeton's, sometimes 6 strong. While the team is great at drawing the penalty corner, Northwestern's strategy of firing directly off an insert failed 3 times in a row at the top of quarter 2, before a pass to Piper Boers finally netted the Cats their first penalty corner goal. Despite the loss, the Cats should not be counted out in the long run. This game was the team's first time being behind by more than 1 goal since September of 2022. That's 37 months that they've gone that long. There's no doubting how formidable this team is, a shoo-in for the NCAA tournament with a strong chance of winning the Big Ten tournament. Speaking of the Big Ten, let's look at their toughest competition for the conference auto bid to the NCAA tournament. Despite losing to them in last year's Big Ten tournament final, Northwestern far outranks the unranked Michigan this year. And furthermore, the highest-ranked Big Ten opponent with number 10 Iowa fell to Northwestern the other week, with a few perfectly placed drag flicks from Ilsa Trump carrying the Cats to victory. Trump's impact has led to her being the first ever player to win each of the Big Ten Field Hockey Awards. And other acclaimed Northwestern key scorers like 2024 NFHCA Player of the Year Maddie Zimmer and Ashley Sessa, who broke a 2013 record for combined assists and goals last season, make up this absolutely powerhouse of a team. Having those key scorers can bring these Cats back to the championship. And these powerhouses can help Northwestern move on from this loss by diversifying their penalty corners to include more deflection plays and learning from playing behind, which is such a rare experience for them, so that they can stay more composed in weeks to come. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Leyton. There's a lot to watch out for as the postseason rapidly approaches. And when we come back, we'll have a double helping of women's soccer highlights just for you. Stay tuned.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Hey, Charles, I hear NBA season is starting back up soon.
Well, personally, I'm a Pittsburgh sports fan, so there's not too much intrigue for me in the NBA. But what I will be watching, or who I will be watching, is Wildcat legend Boo Buie in the G League.
It is a shame that he could not stick with my Knicks, but hey, here is to the Mexico City Capitanes going all the way this year.
Hey, you know what else they love in Mexico? Soccer. After successfully defending Martin Stadium against Evansville on Tuesday, Northwestern was defending the hometown again versus Michigan State. Northwestern looked to get back in the win column in Big Ten play as they welcomed the Michigan State Spartans to the Lakeville for a showdown under the lights. More than 30 minutes into the game, Northwestern with their best chance of the first half as Aaron O'Reilly's shot goes off the hands of the Spartan keeper. His second attempt just goes outside the goal line. The match heads to halftime with no scores. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, Javen Van Deventer, fresh off the pitch, cruises past some Spartans and finds Doug Hayner, who fires one on net, but right into the hands of Zach Kelly. Van Deventer now with a corner. He sails it into the box where chaos ensues. Kelly comes out of the net. Trey Barrett tries to lift one over the defense, but the ball eventually bounces behind him, and the Cats can't convert on a key chance. Final seconds of the match, and Michigan State has a chance to pull off a thrilling win. Jack Guggermos gets the pass, shoots, but it just misses the corner of the net. A heartbreaker for the Spartans as the Cats escape with a draw as the game finishes with no goals scored. Following the draw against the Spartans, Northwestern has a chance to get back in the win column against Penn State tomorrow at 6 p.m.
After shutting out Nebraska for their first win in a month, women's soccer looked to keep the good times going as they traveled to Bloomington, Indiana. Following their first Big Ten win of the season, women's soccer went on to Bloomington to take on the Hoosiers in pursuit of a crucial Big Ten win streak. The game started slow for both teams until the 31st minute, where the Cats were able to draw a penalty in the box. Katarina Regazzoni stepped up to take a PK for the Cats, and the captain proves that she has ice in her veins as she sends it right into the bottom corner of the net, putting the Cats up 1-0. The Cats would go into the half with the lead and hold it for a while in the second, but the Hoosiers weren't done just yet. In the 81st minute, Indiana finally got some momentum going. Grace Ham spots her target from a long way outside the box and sends a screamer into the corner, tying up the game and forcing Nyama Nelson to allow a rare goal during her incredible first season in purple. Just moments later now, as the clock was ticking down, under 2 minutes to go for a goal kick for Nelson. It's going to go terribly wrong as it was intercepted by Maggie Ledwith. The forward would come flying down the field, fighting through traffic to grab the lead for the Hoosiers. It was a rare moment of messy play from the Cats, but the Hoosiers would find a way to take advantage and take the lead. The Hoosiers would close this one out 2-1 over the Cats, sending them home empty-handed and forcing the Cats to wait a few more games to try to obtain their first Big Ten win streak of the year.
Coming off their loss in Bloomington, Northwestern returned to Martin Stadium Sunday for another Big Ten matchup, this time with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Cats looking to get back in the win column on this sunny day. Cats on the prowl early, and Kelsey Kwan finds Kennedy Roche in the middle. She bobbles it, but regains control and puts it right through the net. Vibes are high in Evanston as NU takes the early 1-0 lead. Northwestern back in scoring position. Ava Gooden taking it up the right side. She sends it back to the middle where Megan Norkett is ready. She taps it in for her first goal of the season, and the Cats lead 2-0. Rutgers trying to get in on the fun now. Olivia Rusamano takes a long shot, but Nyama Nelson gets a hand in there for the save. No goal. First half winding down, and Katarina Regazzoni wants to tack on more for Northwestern, but her shot sails wide left. Cats head into the break up 2 over the Scarlet Knights. Second half now, and Kira Kemmerly season opening. Her shot finds the back of the net, and Northwestern takes a commanding 3-0 lead as time continues to dwindle. Rutgers running out of answers. Also running out of time, but Rutgers not slowing down at all despite being out of it here. The shot is once again no good. And that was all she wrote Sunday afternoon in Evanston. Cats come away with a 3-0 win to get back in the win column and improve to 6-3-6 on the season. And following the complete win against Rutgers, women's soccer is back at it right now, at home against the Fighting Illini. Make sure to tune in after we finish up here.
We're still a few weeks away from basketball season, but the recruiting season is in full swing. Last week, 4-star recruit Jayden Hodge announced his commitment to the Northwestern Wildcats, making him one of the highest-ranked incoming freshmen that head coach Chris Collins has ever brought into the program. SportsNight's own Anna Watson was able to chat with the newest Cat for a few days after his announcement. Let's take a look.
What kind of hard work did it take you to get to a place where you wanted to come to the United States to play high school basketball?
I mean, it took a lot of sacrifices. You know, I haven't really been able to live with my parents since I was, I think, 11. I went to a boarding school in Belgium, which definitely was a hard decision for me, leaving my family and just going all in with basketball, which, you know, till this day, I still, I'm long distance with my parents, and, you know, it just takes a lot of sacrifices, but they understood and they always had my back. So it really all comes down to sacrifices and just being in the gym each and every single day.
You guys had to go and live with your godparents. I want to ask you about your godparents. Obviously, your father very accomplished in the basketball sphere, but your godparents are equally as athletic and awesome. Your godfather, Brian Lynch, big-time basketball coach, played and coached overseas, also a star in college. And then your godmother, Kim Kleister, is a Grand Slam champion. What are some of the things that you were able to take away from those great athletic figures in your life?
Just living there was definitely a blessing because I was able to, you know, do a lot of things that other kids and other people were not doing. Like, we'll have ice baths in the house, sauna, you know, a lot of treatment. They make great food, very healthy food, because they were top athletes themselves, you know. So being able to see what they did back in their day and learning from them as they gave me tips of how I can take care of my body, how I can improve and get better it was definitely a blessing.
And while all this is going on for you, you've been able to take the last 4 summers and spend them in Belgium representing your country. What does that opportunity mean to you?
Yeah, I still remember the first time I put on that Belgium jersey and I just got goosebumps and listening to the national anthem. You know, it just means everything to me, especially because Belgium is such a small country. You know, we haven't really been known for basketball, but I feel like now these days has been changing. Belgian basketball has really become a lot better, especially in the youth and the first team. I really believe in a couple of years, like we're gonna have even more NBA players. We have 2 right now, so I really believe that we'll have more and more in the future. So yeah, just I hope I could just stay and keep playing for them. You know, that means everything to me, and hopefully I'll play with my brother again one day in a Belgium jersey.
I want to turn towards some that exciting news for you this week, that Northwestern news. What are some of the things that made Northwestern the final pick?
I feel like the connection that I had with the coach. Obviously, first of all, it's a very pretty and nice campus, very nice school. The academics are very high, and then it was just the facts that the connection I had with the coaching staff really meant a lot to me because nowadays you don't know if your spot is secured, and you know a lot of teams are going to transfer portal. So I really looked into that and looked into details, and I feel like if I continue to work and do my thing, I think I could come in as a freshman and do my thing and bring impact immediately. So that was definitely kind of the factors.
Thanks, Anna, and thanks to Jayden for giving us the time. You'll be able to see Hodge join the men's basketball team at the start of the 2026 campaign.
When we come back, we'll let you know where your Cats are headed this week. Stay tuned.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, piano.
Welcome back once again to the greatest show you'll find on a Thursday night.
Sorry, folks. I don't know what in the world Leo's talking about. My Pittsburgh Steelers are facing off against the Cincinnati Bengals in like 20 minutes and counting now. I'll be sprinting back to my house in my suit and tie.
I mean, come on, Charles. I know you're biased, but you cannot tell me that the American people would rather tune in to Steelers-Bengals on a Thursday night than SportsNight.
Actually, you're right. I totally forgot, Leo. You're so right, especially with Northwestern volleyball up next. Crazy.
Volleyball has had a rough go of things early on in conference play, losing their last 2 matches to Michigan State and number 10 Minnesota coming into last week. On Friday, they headed to Central Jersey to try to right the ship against Rutgers. Friday night in Piscataway, New Jersey, the Cats, looking to improve their conference record, took on the Scarlet Knights at the rack for the first time this season. Set 1 was a tight one, but Northwestern caught an early lead after Rylan Reed is going to have her 3rd consecutive kill here. She would go on to score 2 more this set. Rutgers trying to create some momentum in the middle of the first set, but it was too little, too late. Northwestern takes it with a score of 25-23. Wildcats starting out strong in the second set, following their nice win. A spike from number 2, Isabella Bullington, puts an end to the long rally and inches the Cats forward. But that forward inching is not without resistance from Rutgers. Senior Lexi Vizentine gives the Scarlet Knights a glimpse of hope, just to be demolished in the end by Northwestern, 25-18. Set 3 was a nail-biter, with Rutgers defense keeping a watchful eye on Rylan Reed to keep that score very close. They would go on to be the first to match point in an attempt to win their first set. However, Kayla Kaufman battled back, shutting out back-to-back kills from a desperate Rutgers offense. And then at Northwestern's match point, a challenge on the court would lead to the Cats winning the 3rd set 30-28, and an overall 3-0 set sweep to add to their conference record.
The Northwestern volleyball team was hoping to get rolling after a 3-0 victory against Rutgers Friday as they visited State College on Saturday to take on the number 19 Penn State Nittany Lions. The first set, Ava Faldudo of Penn State with the serve, Drew Wright with the dig. Lauren Carter gets under it and sets for Aya El Nadi, whose hit goes mid-right. Penn State can't return it, and El Nadi gets her first of 15 kills on the day. But Penn State would ultimately take the first set and look primed to take the second as well, leading 24-20. Bella Bullington's serve is popped up by Caroline Juravicius. She tips it over the net and hits the hardwood between 3 Northwestern players. The Nittany Lions take the first 2 sets. Northwestern trying to avoid the sweep in the 3rd set. Rylan Reed recorded one of her 8 digs, leading to El Nadi tipping it over the net off the set from Carter. Penn State scrambled to return it, and their hit is blocked by both Bullington and Bella Simkis to bring up set point. On that set point, Bullington, fresh off that monster block, serves up a heater toward the mid-right. Penn State can't return it, and Bullington has an ace to close out the set. Northwestern extends the match and makes the score 2-1. In the 4th set now, with the score at 12-10, Drew Wright digs the serve. Sienna Nordemir sets it, and Simkis spikes the ball faster than a camera crew can track. That definitely will be contender for plays of the week as Northwestern keeps the score close in a do-or-die 4th set, but Penn State would eventually pull away, and this kill by Juravicius would prove to be the final action of the night. Northwestern would fall to 12-6 on the season, and the Cats will look to bounce back at home against Michigan on Thursday. Be on the lookout for that one. With Northwestern scoring 2 wins against Penn State this week, it was only natural that Nittany Lions volleyball struck back. Northwestern will look to get back to its winning ways tonight at Welsh Ryan Arena against Michigan.
Coming off a solid performance at Michigan State, women's tennis made their way to Ann Arbor for the Wolverine Invitational. This week, first-year Margot Pantala shone brightest, notching a team-high 3 wins across singles and doubles play. Her win against Michigan was the squad's only victory against the Wolverines in 10 matches. Additionally, Erica Jessel, Micah Dagan-Fruchtman, and junior Katya Shepard-Johnson each secured a win. Overall, Northwestern struggled, going 4-8 in singles play and taking only one of their 6 doubles matches. Tonight, the Wildcats look to turn their luck around at the ITA Midwest Regional at the University of Illinois. The 6-day tournament will give the Cats a good chance to bounce back after a rough weekend.
Let's see where you can catch those Cats now. Starting out on Friday, tomorrow afternoon, field hockey travels to number 15 Rutgers.
Football returns to the shores of Lake Michigan, taking on Purdue at 2 o'clock.
On Sunday, volleyball takes on Illinois at Welsh Ryan. And we've still got the hottest part of our show still to come. Do not grab your remote.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Whew, Charles, I'm out of breath from reading all of those highlights. Who knew Northwestern had that many sports?
Leo, take a couple deep breaths, man, because you're not done yet. It's time for Plays of the Week.
Ah, son of a gun. Let's get those paramedics on standby. It's time for Plays of the Week, and what a week it was.
First up, number 3, it's a Happy Valley for volleyball. Cats trying to steal a set from the Nittany Lions, and Bella Bullington out of nowhere for the dig. Northwestern ends up falling to Penn State on the road.
Number 2, Northwestern women's soccer. They're up 1, long pass, Nurkic left side, and she scores. Cats with a dominant win, 3-zip the final.
And number 1, it just had to be back to Penn State. Cats on the goal line. Who else but Caleb Komolafe? Here's the handoff, breaks right through the line and puts Northwestern in front. A historic win for the Cats. Great job making it through those highlights, Leo, but sadly, that means our show has finally come to an end.
Charles, you know I will always grit it out for the Sports Night faithful, especially when the Cats are hot.
Hey, I'm definitely still smoking. To everyone at home, be sure to follow us on X at NNN Sports and on Instagram at NNN_sports. Hope we didn't burn you tonight, Evanston. Have a great evening.